This is Maze. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Dave the Save editor created by Tim and Mons for the Dragon Age Veilguard. This is just going to be a showcase slash introduction video. I am not going to be doing an in-depth introduction or in-depth tutorial about how to use Dave. This is simply because I'm a user and there is a lot to Dave that I don't know yet, or haven't specifically worked with and have to use guides to use. But I do have worked a little bit with him about in the past, where I have made my own workaround to get up with Mons. So, yeah. So, if you've seen my other videos, you may have known that I featured Dave a little bit before with the workaround with the helmet showing up in the lighthouse. So, I'm a little bit familiar, but also keep in mind I'm just a user, and this is just a showcase on how to install and use Dave to get up with decks, which I will come in later on. But for now, let's focus on Dave. So first, go on to the Nexus mod page and you will see all of this. I suggest you read all of this through. It can be a lot, but there is a lot that he can do. So if you want anything specific, go on the files, and then there is optional files. There is some tutorials on how to use Dave. If there is something specific you're seeking and it's not under here under optional files, go on to the post sections and ask your question. Mons will be answering them to the best of her abilities and whenever she can. But okay, first, let's install Dave. Just a quick note, if you use OneDrive, I've had experience with other people that have had issues if they have OneDrive, specifically because the saves are always located in the Documents folder. And if your OneDrive is synced with your Documents folder, it can cause a little bit interference with Dave. I'm not sure if there's a solution. I think there was a solution to this, but otherwise you can make a temporary folder for your saves and just drag them over there, and use Dave from there to do that and then manually replace. But if you're unsure on how to do that, I suggest you make a post about it, and then Mons will be answering this. This was just a note, so if you use OneDrive, please make sure it's not synced with your Documents folder. Okay, let's get to it. First off, you're gonna press manual download here. Just a quick note, I have premium because I'm a moderator, but if you are not a premium, this will come up on another page, and then you can just press slow download, doesn't matter. And there we go, it's in my downloads folder here, and then we say extract all. If you're on Windows 10, it might look a little bit different. You might have to do this here, not that. Show more options, and then extract all zip 7-zip if you have that installed, and extract here. But yeah, Windows 11, just extract all. Then delete this one, and as you can see, it already comes in a folder here. So if I click here, you can just drag this folder somewhere, save like a documents folder, have it in your downloads folder, completely third place somewhere. I just like to have mine in my documents, and I have a custom folder for all my modding stuff, and then Dave. I already have like a folder for it, so I'm just gonna click in here and then just do that. We'll see. And as you can see, there's an X here, and then just here. Just note that if this comes up, don't worry. It's just because Tim and Mons don't have a purchase license from, I think it's Windows, like Microsoft, they have to purchase it from. It doesn't matter. It's just a license thing. It's not a virus thing, so don't worry about it. If your antivirus comes up, or Windows Defender comes up and marks it's a false positive, it's nothing to worry about. just make an exception for I think Mans mentioned to me before that it's because it's what was she called it? It was because it's editing the save file directly, if I believe. So that is why it was marked as a false positive. But nothing to worry about, I promise. And then just press run anyway. And you can see this comes up here. And Dave comes up here. So this is how Dave looks like just right off the bat. Click on this right here. As you can see, this already pops up into my save folder. But if you are first time installed and it looks something like this, don't worry, we can find your saves. They are in your documents folder. And then you go down to BioWare, and then Dragonades the Veilguard, and then save games, and you can see there's like this number here. And all your saves are in here in these individual folders. Let's take this one here. And let's open this one here. So this is how Dave looks like when you have a save open. There is a bunch of stuff you can do. You can edit your currency. You can edit some of your Inquisitor stuff. You can edit some of player character stuff. You can edit difficulty. You can current party, etc. Or you can go into skills and you can click off the skills that you want or don't want. You can go into appearance. Appearance here, it might look a little bit weird, but that is because this is like a preset-ish, the Inquisitor and player appearance here, where you can Control A and then Control C, where you can then copy paste that. For example, if I want to have the same appearance as down in the Inquisitor, Control A, delete, and then Control there. I don't really want that, so I'm just gonna reopen the file here. And you can see that it changed back. But yeah, you can do that. Or you can take a whole new save and paste your player appearance or Inquisitor appearance, or just another save completely. And something new she has added is this. This is specifically used for head and body mashup, or if you want another skin tone for, like, if you're playing an elf or human and you want the Kunari skin tones for your elf or human, for example. Same with the Inquisitor. There is some specific guides on how to do this kind of stuff and what the individual stuff does. So that is on the mod page if you want that. Then there is companions. As you can see, everything here. All of these is where you can say, okay, I want to romance all of them, which is another cool thing that Dave can do, is that you can make sure you can romance all of them, or just a few of them, or none at all. So it is also here where you can make sure that, big spoiler, everyone stays alive at the end. And I mean everyone, even the hardlock ones. There is a specific guide on that as well. And you can do that for all of them. So there's also some quest stuff if you're messing around with that. There's also some inventory where you can cheat in some stuff, like a specific thing you want. For example, I use this with my helmet workaround, where helmets show up at the lighthouse, specifically for piercings or glasses or something like that, where you can cheat it in and make sure that it stays on in the lighthouse. Collectibles, finding all the crystals, etc. Factions, if there is a specific faction you want to have a certain strength, nerf it or make sure it's max, whatever, however you want, and some raw data, which is very too much programming for me to to speak about, but it's also here if you want to mess around with that. So that is Dave very shortly. I can give you an example of how to use it, so that I will do. So I just opened up my game to show you how to use Dave and Dex together. Dex is another program you have to install, and it's kind of necessary at this point. I will show you how to install it or directly after. Just note, if you have Reshade, you will have to follow my number 2 way of installing it, because otherwise it's a direct conflict with Reshade. There's a workaround for it though, so don't worry. But let me just show you how to use Dave and Dex together. So as you can see, here is my character. She's a Kunari. She has piercings on. You will also notice that she is shorter than your average Kunari and not as beefy. That is simply because I used Mods' Guide, body and head mashup, and it's under optional files on her mod page. So if you want to do that, or do dwarf x Kunari, dwarf x elf, or something like that, that is also the way. This was just how I wanted things. But I'm gonna show you how to take on and off the piercings via Dave and Dex as well. Okay, so first up, gonna open Dave, and I'm gonna open up a save. Go into inventory, and here you can see filter. That is a search bar, and because she already has it on, it is already in her inventory. So stillness, and as you can see, my character is a rogue and it's set to special appearance. I just press none, then I go up and say save, and then I go in here, and then I press insert because I have Dex installed, and then I press refresh cast save games, and there we go. Then I go into load games and reload the save. And you can see no piercings. If I want to have the piercings on again, I just go in here, and then I press character. Because she's a rogue, I press rogue, and there is 3 different options you can have. You can use, I believe it's item accessory 2, item accessory 3, and special appearance. I had it set to special appearance before, so I just set it to special appearance again. Again, just save, boop, and then press cast games, and then load again. And piercings on. So that is quite easy how to use Dex. Dex is also going to be more than just an extender for Dave, and so you don't have to keep open and closing. It's also going to be used for some future updates with the Frosty mod manager, etc. So this is just a little bit how you can use Dex with Dave. So how to install Dex? First off, just go find the Nexus mod page. You can just search Dex here and he will pop up. He is also created by Timmermans, as in first he was an extender for Dave, and he's been further developed to be just more than that as well. But yeah, depending if you have Reshade or not, there will be 2 ways to install Dex. The first one, if you do not have Reshade, you just go on the files, and depending if you have EA or Steam. I have Steam, so I just press menu download here, and then I go down here, extract all, and then I go in here, go all the way down here and then just drag it into this folder here, the game installation folder. If you do not know where your game installation folder is, you can use Steam to find out, or you can also use EA, but I have the Steam version, so I'm just gonna quickly show you how to do that. So Dragon Age the Veilguard. So over here to manage, or find it in your library, manage, and then browse local files, and it will pop up right here. And then you just drag these two inside here. Now, if you have reshade, you will have to do an extra step. And you can find this guide I'm showing you here on the mod page. Here, use reshade, follow this guide. Right click and then just open in a new link. But there is a few. You will need this ACI loader here. You will need Dave extender, Dex, and you will use reshade. I'm just gonna do this really quickly because there is a guide that shows you directly how to do that. So you just download this one. You will use the Win64 simply because that is what most PCs today use. So this one here, download that. And then we go inside our download folder here. And you will see this input here. You just drag it over to the game installation folder here. And then you just follow the rest of this tutorial. We already did that as before. And here. And you already have reshade if you're looking at this so far. Okay. Here is the most important up with the setting up. So as you can see, we will need to rename some of the stuff here. So this one, D3D11.dll, will be need to rename Dave ASC. So we find that right here, Dave, and then just go over here, ASC. And this one here, dxgi.dll, reshade AC. So we find that as well, it's up here. And there we go. And now we also have the input file. Just a note, in some cases, the input file doesn't work for you. You will go over here to this ACI loader here, and then under every like Win64, you can try and rename the input, specifically the input file, to some of these. So for example, I know this one is going to work for me, the D3 here. So I just copy paste that directly, and I go down here to the input, and I do that, and I delete the last there. There we go. For example, I also know the input is just gonna work fine for me. So let me show you how that looks like. Okay, so my game is opening up. It might take a little bit of a while because, yeah, but here is how that looks like. So you can see David or Dex is coming up as he should. My reshade is coming up as he should. Just toggle over the reshade off. Yeah, sorry, it takes a little bit of a while for me to open up my game because I have a lot of mods and My PC is not very happy about that, but it is fine. Okay, let me open up reshade as well, if it will let me. There we go. Yeah, don't worry about the errors, it's just other stuff. But yeah, as you can see, this works here, reshade works, and if I press insert, also works. So that is how you can check if it works. If it doesn't work, decks will not pop up at all when you start the game. So yeah. Remember, this is only, like, you only have to do this little bit workaround with the AACI loader if you have reshade. If you do not have reshade, you do not need to do it. You just download and then plop the last 2 files into your game installation folder. That's it. If you have reshade, you need to do this workaround. So that was all for today.